Good morning. Happy Friday. Just sitting out here on the front porch, drinking a little coffee, tweaking my back a little bit. Gonna slow down and have a day of rest. Worked probably the last 8 or 9 days straight, but not a bad little spot to enjoy some coffee. Not bad. So, kind of my thoughts here this morning. I've been reading through Ezekiel, and I came through like chapter like 38 or 39 or something like that through 41, 42. And Ezekiel is having the vision from God where he is being led by someone as they measure out the new sanctuary, the new church. And then ultimately at the end, after it's done, it's filled with God's glory, and Ezekiel experiences God's glory. And I'm reminded of a couple things. Point one, when you go through and you read the Old Testament and you come across all of the intricacies of the temple, the early temple, and it's hard to read through. If you're an impatient person, like especially like me, I'm very impatient. God has spoken to me a lot lately over that sort of thing as it relates to my patience. And I would have the tendency in the past to just kind of gloss over those and not spend time reading the details. I mean, because you're talking like cubits. There's 300 cubits from here to here, and this pole is 300 cubits from here to here, and that's exactly 5 cubits. It can get like, as you're reading it. But the reality of it is that God there's a reason why it's in the Bible. There's a reason why it's there. And there's definitely a reason why God is so careful with every little detail. So just like he did when explaining the temple, the early temple, he does it the exact same way with Ezekiel. Okay, so let me frame this up for you a little bit. So God's people have spent decades, flourishing in God's will, falling away, being punished and scattered, brought back, flourishing in God's will, falling away, worshiping idols, doing their thing, again punished, taken over by the Babylonians and the Assyrians and stuff like that, only to have God bring them back again. So we're seeing a cycle here in the Old Testament, and it's kind of like in our lives too. Our flesh, we tend to flourish in God's will, then we get comfortable, and we tend to slowly kind of fall away if we're not careful. It happens to all of us. We slowly kind of drift, and we get captivated by things of the world, and idols make their way into our lives. And what happens next is that God tries to get our attention. And if we don't adhere to the little details of our life and surrender them to God, the littlest of details to God, because he is all about the details. If we don't surrender them, then the next step, the logical step, is punishment. It's his hand. He's not going to just sit there and just chill within your sinful ways. I mean, he's going to remove his hand of covering from you and allow you to experience experiencing the sin and the consequences thereof. And he's just waiting for you to surrender it back to him. So here we are back in Ezekiel, and God's promises to his children are starting to be reinstated. In Ezekiel, he shows Ezekiel the reproduction of the temple with the smallest of details. And then in the end, he fills it with his glory, and Ezekiel gets to experience God's glory. So my challenge to you is this. Is God all up in your details? Like, are you just going to church on Sundays? praying before you eat. God bless this mess, as we hear so often. What is that? What is that? Anyways, God bless this mess. It's funny. I get it. I mean, I've said it. But God, it's a relationship. This isn't a religion. It's a relationship with your Creator, your sovereign King. Get off your high horse and seek Him in every detail of your life. Don't complain about this world and this country and all the crap that's going on. Don't complain about this when you aren't even seeking God in every single detail, every single day in your life. Until we do that, God's not going to restore our country. He's not going to restore your life. He's waiting for you to seek Him out in every detail, in every piece of your life on a daily basis. That's the way it works. So seek Him first. And just watch His love just and His glory fill the temple again and fill His country again. Anyways, thanks for letting me rant. Have a great day.